Okay, maybe it's something in that other software. It's irritating the crap out of me, guys. I am so sorry. If you are on YouTube, please let me know. Okay, it looks like we might be on a new stream on YouTube. Is that what happened? I bet we are. But yeah, my my camera is just not wanting to work. I mean, another thing I could do is postpone the live for a few and see if I can get this thing to work. Camera hub is not responding. Okay. Let's try that again. Oh, I'm going to try multiple things. And then if it doesn't work, sorry about that. I'm just working to see if I can figure out how to get this thing working again. Because like I said, I was trying to do it as quickly as possible so that we would hopefully not have a second stream, and it looks like we do have a second stream. It didn't do what I was hoping for. Okay, I'm going to disconnect my face cam, and I'm going to see if by disconnecting it, I can get my desk cam to work, and we're going to try to do that. Because like I said, I don't want to stop all the things. I don't want to make y'all have to wait. So we shall see. Come on. Okay, so we've got the desk cam. It doesn't have good lighting, but I can fix that. Okay, we're going to try to just go with this. And hopefully it will take care of the things. It means you're not going to have my face up on the screen at all. So I do. Todd, no, it's where the cameras are not working. Okay. So, okay. I think I told you that we're redoing computers and stuff soon, but it's not this week. I mean, we did do the we did redo I did get Windows 11 installed, and it's basically Windows 11 probably that's coming. It's repeating old comments. What? What? Where? Okay, let me get this open again. I don't have some of the things open. And I also have to I have to copy and paste the thing in. Okay. Hold please. It's still locked up.
It might just be the camera.
So it locked up again. Christina, I'm sorry, guys. I am so sorry. And I'm hoping y'all can still hear me. Okay, so that did restart it and messed up the lighting again. Okay, you can hear me. It's okay, things happen. I'm very, very irritated. I guess that's a good word. I'm going to try not to be negative. I'm going to try to stay positive. I'll let you look at the pretty things while I get another thing. I'm going to go ahead and copy the supply list from the previous live and put it in here for you so that you guys have got that, you know, in case you want to get anything. Once I finally get to show you. Okay, into this description. Save. Okay. And then I need to change the ad thing so it doesn't do the automatic ads. Because otherwise, y'all are going to get irritated because you're going to have ads going. Twitch should still be fine, assuming that everybody is still over there on Twitch. Okay, let me pop out the chat over here on YouTube. And then all of our things can happen again. And hopefully, when I wave my hand across the front, I will see that I don't have it locked up. Okay, so we do have papers. This was the last thing that I had that I was showing you, because we got the mirror cardstock is fabulous. I've got silver. Okay, now you can see my face. Hey, but sounds like units from Craft Roulette is. I didn't get a chance to see Craft Roulette.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message. I love you. Now back to our show.
Thank you, Jana. Thank you, honey. That was super sweet, hun. Yeah. Okay, so we've got a bunch of paper. We've got the silver mirror. We have the gold mirror. I want to keep it in the package, so I'm not taking it all out. We've got black and brown, and it looks like an olivey green, light, medium blue, light blue, red, of course, more red, of course, more red. Three different colors of red. Two different colors of pink, and then of course we've got some white, but you can also use the stuff you have in your stash. Okay, so we've got all of those. What else do we have in here? So far we've got the basics, which is cardstock, card bases, and adhesive. Now we come to the fun bits, and I'm going to get this box out of the way. You also have tissue paper if you want to use it for something else. Look at all those hearts. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Christina. So, and I already have this one, but we have some sequins, pretty sequins. Let me lower this again. There we go. So it's not overexposed. We have, oh, that's cool. We have some pattern papers. This pack is 40 sheets, 20 designs of 6x6. So a bunch of pattern papers, then sized right for making cards. We have some, these are chipboard. It looks, I was thinking maybe it was foam, but it's not. This is actually chipboard pieces. You can see how thick, well, you kind of sort of see how thick those are. Together, love, Christmas time. These would be great even on, these are really big. So they could be like big for a card, or you could use those on scrapbooks too. Not that I do scrapbooks, because I don't. We've got, this is great for Advent calendar. Look at that. So 12 days on, this one is this was the 12 days of Christmas. I'm sorry. This is the 12 days of Christmas. That is too cute. Partridge in a Pear Tree, Turtle Doves, French Hens, Calling Birds. So if you don't remember the song, here are the lyrics. Yeah. We've got a bunch of stickers, a sticker pack with a bunch of sentiments. These are, I think these are faux wax seals. So I wanted to look at that. I did see on the packaging that it said something about wax seals. I'm like, what? So let's take those out. So these look like, these are like little wax seal stickers. So they're not wax. They are flexible. So they're the flexi sticker, like puffy stickers, but they look like little wax seals. So if you've been thinking about, oh, I like the look of wax seals. I'd like to do that on my cards, but I don't know. This is a great way to try them out without, you know, burning yourself with wax or wasting money on materials and tools that you're probably not going to use if you decide you don't like it. But yeah, this is a great way to experiment. And then we have our stamp set. Has sentiments and big 25 for the 25th of December. Happy holidays, sending merry, happy, oh, what fun. Christmas, so Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas, sending Christmas wishes, sending Christmas magic, sending Christmas cheer, season's greetings. So you've got a lot of different sentiments you can create with that. Then we've got 2 packs of ephemera, 2 packs of ephemera, die cut ephemera. I'm not going to pull all of them out because I'll make a big mess, but I'll pull out some. You can already see that we have a nutcracker there. So we've got our branches, we've got snowflakes, we've got presents. We have a choo-choo train. Look at that. This one says North Polar Express. We have our Christmas star. We have some wreaths. We have Santa. What's this? Candy canes. Holly and berry. This is not holly. This one looks like kind of like mistletoe, but it's red berries. Anyway, it's berries and ephemera. And foliage, poinsettias, bows, lots of different things that you can add to your cards. You can make flexible seals with paste. I bet you can. I haven't tried it yet. There's a lot of things I haven't tried. I try to do a lot of things. Terry Cooper says nutcracker. And Jana says, this is so fantastic. I need this. Yes, I know. Well, that's my point. When I was telling you guys weeks ago that Christmas, they could be cranberries. I'm not sure what the foliage looks like with cranberries. But anyway, I've been telling you guys for a couple of weeks that Christmas in July was coming. And that there's a ton of stuff. This is just one piece. And my commitment to Spellbinders is to make at least 10 cards out of this pack, which you already saw with all this stuff. You could make 50 cards out of this. I know the packaging says 25, but my opinion is I think that you could make 50 or more. Look at that. Anyway, a postcard. Sorry, I just saw something. We've got postage. This is cool. This one's got like almost like movie tickets. It's got sentiments. It's got it's like a postage stamp. Actually, these are just this is partridge in a pear tree like the other. We've got us a Santa mail postcard. So cute. So many things. So this is going to be a video in and of itself. I think I'm going to have to do a live stream with just this. Oh, why does all the best stuff come out when I promised the hubby not to spin until paper ganza? Yeah, well, I don't think that this is going to be going away, but I do know that with the clubs, with the kits, a lot of times they sell out fast. Yeah, a lot of times they sell out fast. And these are ones that I don't think they really do a lot of re-releasing, if that makes sense. I have gone back and looked to see if some of the things from some past kits were on the website, and you might be able to find an ephemera pack, but most of the other stuff is not there. Okay, you could tell your husband though that this way you can get all of your Christmas shopping done. I mean, all of your Christmas cards done with just one kit. You don't have to tell him how big the kit is, but you can tell him that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this one to the side. I think this calls for some fruit salad. What? Okay. Small ovals, but the branches are a bit shorter on mine. I don't know what we're talking about. Elizabeth had some clear stamps she was showing last night. I'm wanting them too. They were Star Trek and Next. Oh, those are probably... Are those from Kindred Stamps? Kindred Stamps is another place that they have things out for a limited amount of time and then they're gone. And I've been lucky that some of the stuff that they did have a while back, they came back with. But that's one reason why you don't see me using them on live streams or videos is because you can't get them. So why am I going to tease you with stuff that you can't get? I try not to do that. Okay, so that's the first part. The next one, because it's on my desk, is kind of sort of Christmas related. Where did I put the other thing? Where did I put my box? I cleaned off stuff on my desk and now I can't remember what it's. Okay, next thing that I've got, I'm going to go ahead and show you because now I don't remember where the rest of it is. It's probably under something. I still did not find that die from the other day. This is an expansion pack for the color deck. I haven't opened it to look at it yet. And we also have some additional pieces for the color petals. So you remember I showed you the color petals a while back, and I don't think I have them at my desk. This one basically makes the petal again, but breaks them down into separate ones. So the petal that you've already seen has the piece on the end and then has a couple. Wait, I have something over here. When I did Simon's new release of his latest things, here's the petals. This is what one of the petals look like. And this one is using Pity Party. It's basically the same as that, same size, but instead of having a solid piece for this, you now have this one where you can cut multiple pieces of cardstock as your inspiration stuff to go with this. I think that is genius. I did mention at Creativation when I first saw the color deck. Let me open this up. When I first saw the color deck, I did mention to them that I thought it would be great to be able to do different kinds of swatching and maybe attach it in some way. And then when I got the petals, yes, the petals are perfect. That petal die set is perfect for being able to do your swatches, which is why I did these. And I need to do more. I just haven't made the time. Come on, I want to open this. I just haven't made the time to do so. So Stephanie needs to go to the basement. I hope that doesn't mean that there is a flood in the basement. I don't have a basement. I've never had a basement because I've lived where we didn't have them. Don't know why we didn't have them in Alabama, but really didn't. Okay, let's look at these cards. I haven't looked at them. So these are inspiration cards so that you can kind of get an idea for your colors. You could also use them as inspiration for your design as well. Oh, that's where your oh, now that's a good reason. Okay, Stephanie had to go to the fridge. Had to go to the basement because that's where her wine fridge is. So she's sipping, and I think that's what I said in the email too, right? I said it's time to sip and play kind of thing. But yeah. Oh, look at those colors. That is lovely. But the whole idea behind, oh, and by the way, they have some other things on there. From another era, design a holiday card as if it were from the Victorian era, the Roaring 20s, the Futurist 2100s, or even ancient Rome. What materials, colors, and illustrations would fit that era? So this is a creative spark. It gives you prompts on the back of these for ideas for you to do to your cards. But the front of these give you some scenes, some Christmassy scenes. Scenes, that's the word, but some Christmassy scenes to help you with your inspiration. And then these blocks over here is if you pick out the 4 colors that you think kind of tie that together, look in your stash, see what you have, and attach those there. Or you can use this and basically do the same thing. And my thought is if you do have like a color combo of, say, watercolors or markers or pattern paper or cardstock, you can make multiples of these and kind of attach it there. Kind of doesn't mean it won't fit in the box anymore if you do attach it, but at least if you attach it by one of these. But you can always use one of the you can always use a different type of connector. For instance, there's something coming out from Amanda that I think would work great for that. I'm going to have to test it. Okay, so we've got that one's kind of Victorian. This one has lots of fun colors, lots of purples in this one, by the way. This one has traditional colors. They're not quite as vibrant of the reds. And to me, it looks a little bit almost orangey, so it's a warm red. The Eiffel Tower. Oh, kitty! And of course, if you decided that you didn't really want to keep this as the deck, I'm not recommending this. That would be so adorable on the front of a card. Kitty! Hey, True. So True is dropping a lurk while he is having dinner. Well, thank you so much for popping in. Yay. Okay, so next we've got, this one is the city street in New York. We've got a Christmas cake and all the yummies from a party. This one is nice. See, they all have different kind of color schemes. You don't have to stick with bright red, bright green, right? This one's got more pinks and stuff. But you can tell it is a holiday thing because of this snowfall. It's nice and soft. These are all fabulous. I love snowmen too. Okay, so this one is smaller than the original color deck. It's just an add-on for you to put in with it, okay? And I'm going to put that in with my color. No, I'm going to put this in here. I have it labeled. I might as well. So those are that. Okay, let me roll my cart over so we can take a, that's where I put my deck. I put the deck on the bottom row of my rolling cart. So now I can put those. This is where they belong. So these just go right in here. And I think I kind of want to put a post-it so I know which is which, at least while I'm doing, until I get done with a video or something. I'm going to just put a piece of, if I can get it to come off, a piece of mint tape. Okay, so that's just going to be right there. So on the side, I'll be able to see it. And then these can go right on top. And then this can go right in my box. There we go. So this is what the color deck looks like. And I've just added those in there. And now I'm going to put it back where it belongs. Okay. Next. Oh, next we're going to go back to the, we're going to hide my streamer bot because y'all don't need to see it. We're going to hide my little extra thing there because y'all don't need to see it. And we're going to go back to the page that is for our new releases. So next, what do I have at the front of my new release stuff? I put them all in here and now I don't remember what is what. So first up, we have the Snow Globe collect. Oh no, that's a different thing. We have Wonderland. This one is Wonderland, and that is over here. So let's go ahead and open that one up. Oh, okay. The face cam thing looks weird. Okay. I'm just going to make sure the cameras are still working. Okay. I don't want that. Oh, turn off. Okay. I want that to not come on automatic, but it's gonna keep doing it. It's gonna keep doing it. I just have to remember to turn it off every time. Okay, so we have, this one is the Wonderland collection. You have a calendar, you have a mug, you have snowfall, you have snowmen, a car. I don't think I got the Magi, but I might have. I don't remember. Sentiments, Better Pressed Tree. All of these are, this is one that I probably didn't have to put over there, but that's okay. I didn't have to show it on there, but that's okay. So it's going to start off. We have this fun snowman. Love it. You love the Three Kings. Okay, bye, Miss. Bye. Everybody say bye to Amanda. Love you, honey. Bye, hon. Thank you so much for popping in. So we've got the snow notes. Yeah. So we've got 3 snowmen that are singing. I think that is so fun. The Cocoa Wonderland is super cool, though. I mean, we already had fun with the Cocoa from the clubs. Yeah. Here are those cards. We already had a lot of fun with those, but this one is bigger. Look at that. This guy is twice as wide. So that's like when you have a regular size coffee cup and then you have a Big Mama coffee cup. And of course, this is for Coco because it's holidays and stuff, right? So that is super cute. This one is the DIY calendar, okay? So this part here has got the dates, the months, and the year, okay? We've got Monday through Friday, and then we've got all the different combinations that the month would take, which means this will be good for 2025, but in my mind, it should be good for future years too. Only difference is you'll have to find a different way of putting the month and year on there. Or you could put, well, I would say you could put the month and just tape off the year, but this is going to also be pressed in. So depending on how you're doing it, you can even do this in foil. I mean, yeah. And then you could do, some of the images were showing, well, let me show you that image again. Back over, I'm just pulling that up real quick. So this one is showing the snowmen at the top. So it's kind of where you did the page and then you did the die cut snowman over it. So you could put lots of different designs. Let's look at these. So here's one where you've got multiple pages, just using your die cuts for each individual month and making this so super customized. I think that is fabulous. And I do know that there's at least a couple people that I know that make and give out little calendars each year. So this is a way that you can do. This is actually for 2026. Is that right? That makes more sense. Yeah. So you can see the top part is 2026, and this is going to have that wonderful Okay, so Christina said it isn't enough to be perpetual, but maybe they could do it as an add-on for the few that are not in 2026. That's what I'm thinking too. They could always do an add-on later on, like next year or something, with just the months, just this part. So they could do it with just do an add-on for this for the folks that have got the whole thing, or they could do a full set for 2027, or they could do both options. So that is kind of a cool idea. And then we have this lovely Better Press Christmas tree that I think would be good for a December one in the calendar. But it would be great for a card anyway. So that is the Wonderland collection. Next, yes, next is going to be House Mouse. With you guys are already asking me about House Mouse. And I need to put a post-it over there so I know where I'm at. So this one is House Mouse, and it is called Tremendous Christmas. And isn't that just super cute? Christina meant there are not all possible connections for it to be eternal, leaving the months aside. Oh, I'll have to take a look because I think it should be, but we'll have to see. I haven't tried it out yet. So, I mean, I've got the stuff, but I haven't had a chance to try any of the things out yet. But isn't this just adorable? They have got basically a little Charlie Brown Christmas tree. I think that is super cute. And because they've got all the texture already on there, I like doing stamp and emboss, stamp it in black VersaFine ink, and then, VersaFine ink, and then heat embossing clear over the top. And that gives it a nice, fun texture for all of the texture that they've added. And then you just add a little bit of color over the top, and it looks fabulous. It is so quick and easy. Love the mouse. But, oh, and here's another one for Christmas. I didn't get all of them. I only got 3. This one has him playing with a Christmas box. This one is actually
Now, look, Buster, let's have an understanding. Now what?
You'll be in my heart.
What a way to run a railroad. Now, as I was saying...
Hello, Daffy. Hi, Anne. Hello, Miss Kim. Well, I hope your appointment went well, honey. Stephanie says, oh dear, I triggered that. No, it wasn't you. It was Anne. Anne does that to announce her presence. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, let me move that over to the side. Okay, so anyway, this little mouse is playing with a box of jingle bells. And what Stephanie was saying is, you'll be in my heart. She noticed this. She noticed the sentiment here. So it says, have a tremendous Christmas. I was looking too much at the mice to pay attention to those. You'll always be in my heart. Had to have a punny one. And then, of course, we've got peace, joy, and love to you, which is, hey, Supreme. I'm sorry I haven't had time to pop into your streams lately, honey. Thank you so much, though, for popping in. And I didn't do the thing. I've had so many problems with my computer, my stuff, that I didn't think of opening that up. So if Supreme says something else, then I can give her a shout out. So type something else into the chat and I can give you a shout out. Because that's the only way I can do my shout outs right now, because the others don't work. Okay. Nothing else there. Okay. So anyway, I think he's super cute. May your holiday ring with joy and laughter. Sending you okay, now I can do you an official official one. Somebody did a shout out for somebody, but I don't know if it worked. Okay, so Terry Cooper, what happens is my stuff is messed up for whatever reason. It is sending a shout out to you when you do one, even if the channel is not actually valid. So right now, the only way for me to do shout outs is if I do it on my end. Okay, so sending you jingle bell wishes and festive cheer, jingle all the way to a Merry Christmas. And isn't he just adorable? Love it. But the one I have to say I love the most, because I have to. People are just popping in. But Ruth was already here. Oh, Ruth popped in over on Twitch. That's it. Okay, that's why. But look at this one. We have them playing in a jack-o'-lantern. Jack-o'-lantern. So this guy has eaten too much. I'm thinking he's going to throw up. That's just me. This little guy is sitting there. You can see how big his tummy is and all the candy wrappers. And then this guy is jumping down on top of him. You don't do that if you don't want him to puke. So anyway, this one just did it though. You can see the little lines that show that he just moved. So this little guy jumped down and off. And this one is his turn to jump down and off. I still think that they're going to puke. Christina says a complete perpetual calendar would have to have 28 monthly plates. Okay, I'll have to take a look. So anyway, those are our house mouse. Next, we have Simon. Simon Hurley. Yes, we have some Simon Hurley. So this one is called Simon North Pole Friends. You know, I accidentally shouted myself out years before I streamed and ended up with 30 followers. That would work. Stephanie says, just a mama or papa mouse acting as a trampoline. Nothing unusual. Okay, so we have got Simon Hurley stuff. Yes, Simon Hurley. So we have this cute little bear family. So we've got multiple pieces for different things because there's going to be different layers. So this one is the side view of our bear with some legs. We've got front view of the bear with face and with the front legs. We've got a little baby bear. You could do a lot with just the baby bear. And then we've got little sweaters and stuff for these guys to wear. They're so super cute. Even Christmas lights. Even Christmas lights. These guys are friggin' adorable. And look at it. We've got paws. These are paws. Well, that's cute. Oh, I know what that is. No, that wouldn't work. I will figure out how all these things go. I think that those are actually probably the back legs of Mama Bear. Those would go so well with anything related to Nordic collection. Absolutely. Absolutely. So first we've got our realistic looking bears, polar bears. Then we have North Pole sentiments. We've got a ton of sentiments. And then we have this cute, we have a cute little snowman that's got a couple of different hats. So we have a regular beanie. And then we have, I think it's kind of like a cowboyish hat. So cute. And I think at one point I was watching a Simon Hurley video and he said he was testing things out. And all he did was he cut out this piece and did a little bit of ink blending on the sides so that you could, for the definition. So he did a little bit of blending on there kind of to show kind of the behind the scenes thing. So I thought that was cool. And then we have this one that could be a pole or any kind of a banner with stripes. But yeah, I think this is a North Pole. So for the sentiments, we've got North Pole, Toy Shop, Let It Snow, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Santa's Workshop. And this banner here has got an arrow. So you could make, this I think is a pole for all the signs. You could put basically a pole with all the signs. Here's your sign. I think that would be so cute. Then we have the Clauses. We have Mr. and Mrs. Claus here. So the way it looks to me, I think this is both of their faces. Mrs. Claus and Mr. Claus. We have both of their gloves. We have both of their arms. We have his beard and something. Oh, beard and hair. Hers. So yeah. got this one here. We've got where he's holding the note. Again, you're going to want to look at your packaging to see how everything goes together. I did not print out for these yet. I probably need to, and I'm sure that there's going to be an instruction manual, an instruction page where I'll be able to print that out for myself and have that in there. But always keep your packaging because that shows you what you can do with it and how everything's supposed to layer up. Okay, so that is for Simon. And you see, I am continuing my my organization that I told y'all I was doing. So next up, yeah, we're not done yet. We have Merry Moments. I think I only have one thing in that one, so I'm going to go ahead and grab out the last. So Merry Moments, what I got out of that collection was this. I think this is just so pretty. These are little, hey, true. These are little cameo, basically like little cameo necklace things, but with different florals in there. And someone had mentioned that you could do flexible wax seals. I'm thinking doing this with Simon's Pace would probably be fabulous. I think I'm probably going to try that out. And that way I could just cut out the oval and put it on whatever I want. This is so a card with Santa and Mrs. Claus holding a present between them. That would be fun. Absolutely. That would be fun. Okay, so adorable, but I have quite a lot in my stash already, which are similar. Absolutely. So a lot of times what I like to try to do is that as I'm creating things, I want y'all to, if you see something that you just got to have, go ahead and get it. That makes sense. But you know what? If you have something similar, use what you have. There are a lot of things that are similar. I get excited. That's one reason why I need to clean out some of my stashes. I've got some older items that are similar to some newer items that I can't really do a whole lot with because they're no longer available for y'all. So why are they in my stash? Anyway, that one is Christmas Cameos. I think that 3D embossing folder is just lovely. And then our last collection, and we've already been on here an hour, including the time that my computer didn't want to work. Come join me in a battle, exploration, dungeoning, what? That was true. Okay, this one is called Country Christmas. Now, this is super cute. This one is absolutely, I had to have a lot of these things. We do have another snowman. This one is another snowman, and he's got a cowboy hat and has a sign that says welcome, and he's got a little bunny. Bunny, yeah, so cute. We have a country Christmas barn. Yeah. I did not have anything like this in my stash already. So we have a barn with a couple of Christmas trees. We've got, these can be icicles. I think if you colored them right, you could probably make them into lights. But yeah, we have us a Christmas barn, which I'm sure that if Country Guy is still here, he would love that. And then we have, this one is the horse and wagon. I showed you guys on Tuesday. I showed you guys the picture. Let me pull that one up. These are some that are detailed enough. I do need to pull up the pictures and let y'all see them. Let's go back to, this one is the Country Christmas. That's what I want to look at. Okay, so Country Christmas. Oh, yeah. So here is our Christmas. I was right. You can use those as lights. So this one is the barn we just looked at. I'm going to try to make this bigger. Let's just, come on, do what I tell you. Okay. So here's the Christmas barn. So we just looked at that. True says, I have some cardboard gathered in my room with the intention of improvising a tiny house. There are people that make tiny houses. That would be fabulous. Country Christmas barn. Just love it at Country Guy. Yeah. So that would be so cute. Here's the one that was that horse-drawn carriage with packages in the back. And of course, you can always take dies from one and put in the other. So someone had said something about Mr. and Mrs. Claus holding a package. Here's a die set that has a package in it. Or you could create your own, because a package is basically a square. A square with a little rectangle as the top, and you don't have to have a bow unless you want to. But if you have something in your stash that works, use it. This one is fabulous. This is a barn star. This one says it's a barn star wreath. Now, you can do this one flat. This is one I'm going to go ahead and pull up. You can do this one flat, but you can also do this one dimensional. Okay? And I'm going to experiment with it and see if I can figure out how to make that happen. And it does have the instructions in here. So here's if you want to do it just flat. This is a bigger picture, so you can do both layered and dimensional stars. So that, I think, is going to be fabulous. These are just so pretty. And this is, again, all that country look. Looks like a sleigh may be a more fitting mode of transport. Okay, that was that one. Okay, back to here. Here's the snowman. Yeah, here's the snowman I was just showing you that was in this collection too, that has the... I didn't notice. That's cool. It's got a bird feeder. Well, that's cool. I'm going to have to do that. Okay. And then we have... What else do I have in here? Did I go through all of these? Okay, I do not have that embossing folder. That's okay. I do have these sentiments, though. Country Christmas banner sentiments, press plate and die set. I do have those. And those have got a bunch of sentiments. Merry Christmas, Merry and Bright. All in this nice country scripty way of country Christmas font. I cannot say my words. But one of the things that's kind of cool is the different types of dies they've got for cutting them out. So you've got different shapes. You've got this one that is kind of what we're used to, where it is just a rectangle with little notched edges. We have a regular rectangle with sharp edges. We have this one that looks like it's a little bit torn. So it could be like a wood panel. Christina says, love the bird feeder, and the embossing folder is amazing. Yes, absolutely. And then we've got a couple of other things. You see these? Those are so that we've got little hangers for our signs. So you can cut them out as like maybe as if it was a wooden sign, and you could hang it from something like, say, maybe the front of the barn. And you've got big connectors, and then you have little connectors. So they included those, and I think that is pretty much genius. They included those so that you can make it look a little bit, just a little bit more, a little bit extra. Is Debbie feeling crispy? I don't know. Yes, because we love you. Love you, Ruth. Okay. So those are the things that we have. And I have no idea what to play with. I really don't. Seeing as I've had technical difficulties, I may want to go with something that would take less time. So why don't we do House Mouse? Because I think that one will not take me as long. And I can show you kind of the way that I tend to do these. I'm going to check one more thing real quick. And by the way, when you're watching the screen, you see something pop up over here. That is just basically a reminder of some of the things that are happening. Love that one country. I know. I love it too. I love them all. I mean, I've got so much fun Christmassy stuff that I'm going to get to play with. Okay. Oh, okay. So with House Mouse, I could do more than one. Okay, you guys tell me, what do you want? We've got Trick or Treat. We've got Tremendous. And then we've got Jingle Bell Wishes. What do you guys want me to make a card with? True is asking, If I have been playing much Fortnite, I have not had time to play Fortnite really in the last several days. I've tried to do like 1 or 2 rounds a day, but I haven't been. Okay, so True says trick or twar. I think he meant treat. That's fine. Jenny G says, oh my God, I can't pick. And Debbie, do you know when both Christmas and Halloween advent calendars will be released? Halloween, I think, is going to be in August, but I'm not 100% sure. Usually these wind up coming out, August, September. Christina says, I am so busy this July that I think Christmas in July will be in July this year. Christmas will be in August this year. Stephanie says, Jingle Bell. Christina says Jingle Bell. So 2 people say Jingle Bell. I will be doing something with this one soon. I can't help it. I have to. Actually, I just had an idea. I may do that later today. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that later today, which is good. Okay, Jenny says, I will go Jingle since it's July. Okay, so True says he's been playing Blitz, Lego, Fortnite, and a bit of Zero Build. I have played some with Ryan and some of his buddies and gotten, I popped on there with the intention of just playing a round or 2 by myself. And yeah, some of his friends that I've met, some people that I've met through him said, hey, you want to play? So I wind up in a squad. We wind up playing Blitz, and I got like 4 crowns or 5 crowns or something because I was playing with them, because they rock. They were so good. Okay, the way that I mentioned before, that the way that I tend to do these is I stamp them and then I emboss them and then I color them. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to take our little mousey. Actually, I need to take my grip mat out. This is a cling stamp, so if you're going to use it in your Misty, you kind of need to not have a mat in there. The Misty usually comes with like a mouse pad, a foam pad in there, and the grip mats are basically the same size. So when you're using it without a grip mat, because I haven't done anything without a grip mat in a while because I love them, you have to make sure you put them all the way to the edge and all the way to the bottom so that they are right there in the corner. The reason you do that is that if you need to, say you need to restamp and your card has shifted, you need to be able to put it right back in the same spot it was at to begin with in order for it to stamp in the same spot. So make sure it's always lined up right there in the corner. And that means you also need to make sure that your card has a right angle there. You have to make sure that it is cut correctly. Otherwise, it's just not going to fit right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stamp him. Don't tell me my ink pad has got, this is my old ink pad. That's right. I was thinking, don't tell me it's gotten dry. I have 2 of those because one was getting dry. I was thinking, I haven't used these in a little bit. I've been using Simon Hurley for everything lately. Okay. I may need to stamp it twice. This is a brand new stamp, and like I said, I haven't used my ink, my black ink, in a bit. That looks pretty good. I think I could get a little bit more on there and it'll look a little bit better. So inking up some more. Making sure that is over in the corner. Because even if it shifts just a slight bit, you're going to get ghosting. You don't want to do that. That looks pretty good. Does look like there's a little issue with one of my Mises. This part doesn't look like it's really got coverage there very well. Another thing you can do, if you remember, is use your magnet. I tend to forget to use my magnet, and that is specifically because my Tim Holtz, I think I must have had something in there in the platform when I was using it, because there was a part that was a little bit bowed after I used it with the magnet in there. I think I warped my top plate a little bit. Okay, I'm going to say that that's good enough. I don't know why it's not doing all the way to the edge. It may just be the stamp itself. Sometimes that happens. Okay, now we're going to heat emboss them. I haven't done any heat embossing in a bit either. Goodness. So yes, your Misty, the platform of your Misty is magnetic. So you can definitely use that with your magnets. Okay. Vanessa says my mother-in-law would love these mouses. Stephanie says pink because I'm the princess of quite a lot and orange, team orange. And yours were... Okay, I put too much embossing powder on there, but that's okay. One other recommendation, especially if you're using any kind of colored embossing powder or any brands other than WOW, make sure that you actually use your anti-static powder tool. I forgot again. So hello, Miss Cindy. Welcome in. So people are talking about their favorite colors. Does anybody know my favorite color? Aqua or teal? You are correct. My favorite color has always been blue, but over the last several years rather, I've been kind of leaning towards that light blue with a little bit of green in it. It's kind of a tealish color. So, and that's been a real popular color with a lot of folks. So yeah, that's what I've been going with. Okay, so now we have all of that heat emboss. Now you can stamp it in different colors of ink, and if it is an ink that stays wet a little bit, you'll be able to do heat embossing on those too if you want. I think I'm going to clean this off, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp a couple more just because I can. And I'm going to show you what I mean with some Simon Hurley ink. I think that'll stay damp enough, long enough for us to be able to do some embossing. Okay, I need my things to not make my drawers, but these things need to open like I tell them to. Where'd I put? I did have baby wipes there. They're in a different drawer. They weren't in the place where they were supposed to be. Norma says, hi Norma, your password is your favorite color. Okay, and I'm probably going to need to clean this a bit more because some of the black isn't wanting to come out, which is one reason why I brought this out. This is some cleaner from Ranger, water-based ink cleaner, which I think this VersaFine is not exactly water-based, I don't think. But that means that my archival ink cleaner should help. Okay, bye-bye, Miss Vanessa. You have a wonderful day. And so sorry about all of the goose-ups with the stream at the beginning. I've got to figure out the tech and find out what went wrong with my computer. But it may just fix itself when I get all new stuff. There's going to be new motherboards, new CPU, and eventually a new graphics card. That's not happening right now, but it should be happening soon. But most of the stuff is going to be set up latter part of next week, so I need to make sure that this actually works for next week. Yeah, what other, I need to look and see when I don't think we have any more collection stuff coming. Oh, Pooh comes out on the 22nd, so I'm probably going to do a Pooh live stream, Winnie the Pooh live stream on, well, I'm already doing one that day. That's on the 22nd. I'll have my new computer by then. Nothing extra next week. Okay. So we've got, wait a minute. I said I was going to do some more stamping, didn't I? Y'all didn't remind me. So tell me, what color of Simon's inks do we want to go with? for this next one. Y'all know his colors, and y'all know I want to use the new stuff. So what color do y'all want to do? CZ just updated because of W11, I believe. I don't know what those words mean. CZ is probably Kathy Zilski, but I don't know what W11 is. Oh, I just got this too. But isn't that cool? So new anti-static powder tool from Rabbit Hole Designs. Vanessa says no worries. Windows 11. Oh. So Kathy Zilski just updated because of Windows 11? Yeah, I just updated my computer with Windows 11 and everything got reset and nothing works quite the way it normally would. So, since y'all aren't telling me colors, I'm going to just pick out what was on top, which is 100% juice. I did the anti-static powder because I was trying to be good and be a good example. And now I'm going to tap some on. And you can tell I'm tapping too much on because it is a foam pad. That's how it does. Okay, do need another layer. Can't wait for the ad to come up. What's it going to be this time? Another teenager telling me how to make $1 million? Stephanie, I think you'll have to tell me. Did our ads coming up on YouTube? Because I told them not to. Okay, so now we can take this and we can do the embossing thing on it too. And I'm thinking that with this, I really do any coloring on it. I kind of like it. So it's best to use like pigment inks because they're going to stay wet longer. But even Simon's inks, these water-based dye inks, a lot of times stay wet long enough for you to put your embossing powder down as long as you do it pretty quick. They just don't give you a lot of time in between. Isn't that cute? Oh, that is adorable. Okay, I think I'm going to do one more because I can. Nothing came up even though your clever system warned me. I'm deeply disappointed. Okay, so the, what? I don't understand. Let me look at just the YouTube chat. So did something pop up on YouTube saying that there was an ad? I mean, there's an ad that went up on Twitch. Twitch had ads, but YouTube isn't having ads right now. I can't turn off Twitch ads, and folks on Twitch kind of know that how it's going to work over there. If you're a sub on a Twitch channel, then you don't have ads. Okay, so that color's done. So I think I'm going to do, I don't know, I'm kind of thinking blue, but I don't know that I want to go really light blue because I kind of think with this, I kind of want to have a darkish color or brightish color. I don't want something that's going to kind of blend in. So let's go with some Midnight Snack. And this is exactly, Oh, thank you, Jana. Jana said not to forget to like the video. If you type exclamation point like, I think I have a pop-up. So you can take a look and see, but I think I have a pop-up to remind us as well. Okay, so it looks nice and soft. Does need more ink. Okay, so it's not connected to the pop-up anymore, but it does have the message in there. Okay, at least that part works. The snail one does. Okay, put another layer of ink down. And the magnet definitely helps so that when I'm sliding things around, and foam works, when I'm sliding things around, it stays in place. These little guys look so cute. I'm going to put one more layer down. So you can put as many layers down as you need to get the look that you want. And usually the next layer of ink will just make it a little bit darker. Okay, that looks super cool. I don't remember if I used the anti-static on this one because I tend to forget. But let's go ahead and add our embossing powder down. It's one of the nice things about clear embossing powder. It tends to well, you can't see it if it goes to the wrong place, unless, of course, you're doing some color or something over it, and then it will act as a mask. And I tend to heat both sides. One thing I've noticed is as soon as I apply heat to it, my paper immediately starts to warp. I think that's because of how humid it is here, that there is more water actually in the cardstock. And heating it up is causing that to dry some, which is good. These little guys are so cute. Yeah, let me make sure that they're all shiny. This color is one that I'm having a little bit harder time seeing because I think a lot of it is trying to stay light. Okay, I think that's good. I think 3 should be enough. Oh, these are so cute. Okay, put this stuff away. And clean up my stamp. And since this is a water-based ink, I'm just using water. I've stopped trying to prevent warping. I run through my die cutting machine once. It's cooled down a couple of times. Absolutely. I think my brain just tends to work towards, oh, that doesn't look like I want it to look at this point. It doesn't matter while you're making it. What matters is how it turns out in the end. I mean, we make so many layers on things, and I'm still always trying to get it perfect underneath it, but that's just my brain causing problems. Okay, we'll be doing some stamping with the sentiments in a bit, but for now, let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to do with these. So I kind of like these better than the black. I have to be honest. I do want to add a little bit of color though to them. So I'm going to add some yellow. Let me see, do I have a scrap around here somewhere I can use to make sure the color, I can't use my gray. I can't use this because it's gray. Gray Post-its will not tell me what it's going to look like on white. Okay, scrap bin it is. So I don't want to color on any of those because those are what I'm going to be using all or at least part of that, and I haven't decided what I'm going to use. I think that'll be fine for the stars. And you could say that one's done. I think I'm actually going to just do the ornaments and the star on these, and leave the rest. On the black one, I'm probably going to color the mice too, but you don't really have to unless you want to. I've also heard people say you don't want to use like your Copic markers over embossed lines. I've used my Spectrum Noir over embossed lines forever and really didn't have a problem with. I think it actually helped those. I am going to be more gentle with these. These are newer markers and it's a brush tip instead of a bullet nib. But I think that may have been one reason why my bullet nibs worked so well for doing brush type things, is because they were a little bit worn down, but I don't know when they got worn or how they got worn or anything else. I didn't notice it. So we've got our little stars on there. This one was using Y6 from my Ohuhus. And I think I want a red. Let's go with a red, I think. I'm looking at my markers, by the way. They're over here in my cart. R7 might work. What color is that actually? This one says it is old red. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's a nice dark one. Let me find another one that's lighter. I mentioned to you that you don't have to do shading, which you can see I didn't do any shading in the stars, but you can if you want to. And I think these two colors are going to do pretty nicely. It's basically a super dark and a not a super, super light, but kind of a light. So I'm just adding a little bit of the dark down, and then I'm going to fill in with the light and blend out those darks. So now our little mouse is holding his ornament. And I'm going to do the same thing with that same mouse on the other two. I'm also kind of showing you how I did my mass production when I was learning how to do a lot of the things. This is exactly this is the sequence that I did. I would stamp a bunch and emboss if I was going to do embossing, and then I would color them all up. And then I would figure out how I was going to put them on a card. But in the meantime, I got plenty of practice, at least on those images, especially with coloring. I got lots of practice on those specific images and got better and better at the coloring. So if you're struggling with any technique, do this. Do a bunch of that technique. Stephanie is saying, my fingers are twitching and they want to fish out some older house mouse stamps now and try with the tips you got today. Yes, do that. And you don't have to, if you do them with the embossing, it kind of does help the colors to stay in. And sometimes when you color over inked lines, sometimes you wind up softening them. But if you heat emboss them first, those lines are always going to stay bold. And you don't have to re-stamp over them. I remember the old tip was stamp, color, stamp again. When I would try to do that, I'd never get stuff lined up right. So this is a way that you don't have to do that re-stamping. You stamp, emboss, and then color, and then it works out great. Okay, I think I want to do a blue ornament now. So here's a light blue, and I don't know if these two will go good together or not. This one's kind of a tealish blue, which you guys know I love. So let's see if that will look okay with this light. Now this one is kind of a dusty blue. Well, you don't want a dusty blue. Maybe this one will work. I think this will probably work better. This one is pastel blue, and sometimes I friggin' can't read them. This one is Indian blue. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the same thing we did before and start off with the darker color. Thank you for the check-ins. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit around the bottom and the inside and top. Kind of just some shadow areas that are showing on the image itself. Then I'm going to go back over with the lighter color and blend those out. And there is enough of a difference between the two that I think I'm going to do another trick. I'm going to take my darker marker, pointing down, my lighter marker, touch the tips, and that's going to transfer some of the darker to the lighter. And now I can come in and basically get a mid-tone. Or you can go and search through your markers and see if you can find yours. But that way, I've kind of got those blended together nicely on our little mouse's ornament there. Okay, do the same thing on this one. Starting with the dark. Coming in with the light. And then picking up a little bit of that color to transfer to my light marker to create our midtone. And as you're coloring, the dark is going to bleed out and you're going to wind up with a lighter color. So it's automatically going to go from dark to light, kind of an ombre. Just a touch of color is all on all of them is all. Yes, that's all you need. I think that's going to be so cool. So this one, we're going to do the same thing again with the dark. And then with the light. And then with picking up some of that dark for a mid-tone. Okay, so those look fabulous. And next I think I'm going to do a green. So we're going to pull out a couple of greens. So this one is emerald green, G1. And that one is kind of a warm green. Okay. Gives me an idea of what to look for in the next. I'm going to try GY2 and see if that works. I think this is more of like a neutral green. I think they'll work together though. There's not too much blue in this one, so that's good. Okay, we're going to do the same thing we did before, starting off with the dark. And then coming in with the light. And then just depending on how those colors work together. This one, I think, worked really well. So the blend was more smooth than what the blue was. I'm going to do the same thing with these other ones. On these other colors, those colors really pop because it's a different color, because the outlines are done in a different color. I don't know if I explained that well, but I think you guys know what I mean. These colors just pop against that purple and blue more so than on that black. I think it's because we expect it on the black and we don't really expect it with these other colors. So I think those are nice. Love it. Oh, I didn't do all three. I need to do this little guy. We need to do the one on the blue. There we go. And I'm debating whether or not to put any green on the tree. I think I'm going to start with the black one and we're going to put some green on the tree and see what we think. And then if we want to, we can always add some to the others. And I'm not really going to be following any of the lines because there's no way that I'm going to be able to color inside the lines on all of these. So I am just doing a flicking motion to add color in basically the same areas as the branches and the pine needles. I'm assuming this is pine. Looks like pine. Could be cedar. Oh, that was looking nice. And this is some easy breezy, super easy coloring. Just gentle flicks. And I did intentionally go with the darker green because with that ornament, that's the only way you're going to see it. If we went with the lighter green, that ornament would kind of get lost. Hey, Stephanie. Welcome in, honey. Thank you so much, hon. These are so cute. Not most of it. I think there's an additional branch that's kind of covered up by two of our branches. But I want to leave some of that white in the center there. I think that the coloring on this one is done, but it does tell me that I need to add the green to the other branches on the other two cards. So we're going to do it on the blue next. I have no idea how this is going to look with the purple. Again, we're just doing our gentle flick. It's not a swish and flick. It's just a flick, honey. The Todd asked if it was a swish and flick. I can't believe I just looked up at the camera and I know the camera's not working. Yeah, this is some
We
really...
interrupt our program to bring you this important message. I love you. Now, back to our show.
Thank you. So, yeah, this is just some really easy coloring. When you're doing branches like this, it doesn't really matter if it's inside the lines or not. Nobody's going to notice. All those little lines are all they're going to do. All the definition from the stamp is going to do is it's going to basically add definition to the images. And on this type of a tree, there's no way you can do them all perfect. Well, y'all may be able to if you're better at coloring than me, and I'm out of practice with what little I've got. But yeah, y'all might be able to do it. I'm trying not to be as OCD as my brain tries to tell me it's supposed to be. And this time I am drawing a little line for where I think the branch is to have a place that I know I'm supposed to come out from. You don't have to do that. You can just wing it. And coloring can be, a lot of times, is very, very soothing and therapeutic. So just go with it. This trick is a treat. Stephanie says, we can pretend it's a swish and flick. And then Jana says, trick or treat. I'm thinking about making the jack-o'-lantern light up in that other card. So, yeah. If I manage to get it done without computer problems, I still have a Pear Blossom Press design team project due tomorrow morning. So hopefully it will be ready to go and up by like 10, I think it's like 9 a.m. or something. So that is my goal. So hopefully I can get it done, but a lot of it depends on, is my computer going to cooperate? So there you go. You can see the difference on there. This one is really bold. They're both lovely. This one is a lot softer. And now we're going to do the same thing with the purple. Same green. And that's where basically where all the branches work. Stephanie likes the idea of a light up pumpkin with the little Mises, because we love our Mises to pieces, right? And I tend to like to go away from myself. You see, I'm turning the paper. It's totally fine to turn the paper. You don't have to keep it all straight and then try to color all your things. I basically turn it, and most of the time, yeah, a lot of times right in the middle of a video when I'm saying this is what I do, I wind up not doing it that way. But most of the time I do flicking out from my body. So it starts closest to me and then goes out most of the time. I think that just feels more comfortable. I think it's just kind of, maybe it's muscle memory or something. I don't know. Yes, we love our Mises to pieces. And while I'm still doing this, I do want to remind y'all to go ahead and get your free ticket to the Cardmakers Success Summit. Today is the first day that those of us that are in the summit and presenting are able to start promoting. So there is a link in the description down below. There's also a link in the visual supply list for you, and I will be updating the visual supply list to go directly to this specific stamp set after the stream. But as it is, we've got a link to, I've already added a link to all of the to the page with all of the new collections on Spellbinders, so you'll be able to find it from there. But that's only if you're interested in making some of these. So cute. I love these little me's. Okay, so we've got 3 of these done. I'm not going to do any more coloring. I was initially thinking I would leave everything just the color and then do just the background. But then I changed my mind and decided to do the ornaments to give it that little bit of pop. And I love the way they're turning out. Let me get these markers put away. Okay. So now we have to decide how are we going to put them on our card. So I have shapes. I have a bunch of different shape dies that I use a bit. We've got, this one won't really, well, it might. I'm going to pull them out anyway. We've got our arches. We've got our notched corners. We've got our fluted frames. We've got a Polaroid picture that I have not used in a bit. What else do I have in here? I'm trying to have all the things right here ready to go. All right, now I'm going through all of my foils. I've got this one that is an emerald cut. We've got the postage edge, diamonds, fluted squares. This one's another pretty oval. Some of these are no longer available, is what's sad.
Chicken banana.
Chicken banana. Banana. Thank you, Stephanie. She played the chicken banana. That's funny. So what do y'all think? I think I need to take out the ones that are basically where we'd have to do them as vertical and them look decent. And that's going to be the arches or the scallop tag frames. And see what it would look like with one of the words. I love the lace oval, but I don't think it's available anymore is the problem. I'm pretty sure this is no longer available. This one was Die of the Month, February 2022. I'm pretty sure it's not available on the Spellbinders website anymore. I'm going to just double check. D-D-O-M. That doesn't look like I'm going to type in oval stitch border. I don't think it's there. Okay. So this one is not available, but there are other oval dies. So there are other things that are similar, but yeah, this one is no longer available on Spellbinders website, which really sucks. I mean, this one has got that that eyelet look. It was always so pretty. So I'm going to take this one out of the bench. This is one of those things that I still need to go back and mark all my things to say, this is what I've got available, that this is what is on the website, this is what's not. So we've got these guys that do an arch, but I don't know. We could possibly do an arch. Let's see. That one is too short. I mean, the card is too short, so I'd have to go with a smaller. I have a feeling that if we went to a size that was... See, this is what we could do. We could do that, and then you'd have a smaller image. Okay? You'd have to send us die. Well, if I sent them to you to sample, that would be with the intent of you getting them, and you can't get them because they're no longer available. So that would be defeating the purpose. Okay, I think I'm going to do one like this, just to be different. Yes, I know it's going to cut off one of the little Mises. And I do kind of like these better than the... I like them both, but I think I like my oval, my arches better than the scallops. So I'm going to do that. And then, what do we want to use for the others? I wonder how the postage edges would work. That would be kind of cool. I'm going to do a postage edge. And then, what are we going to do now? Also got this emerald cut, and we've got... See, one that I use more often than the others, this is what I've used more often than the others. And this is another one that is no longer available, but I love it. These, I believe, are still there. Let me just double check and make sure emerald cut is there. Okay, this one is still there, and there is a shaker dome that will work with that. Ooh, I could do that. I don't have a shaker dome, but so we could do that. We've got this type. I love this. I really love this. The way that it works is it has a little frame that's going to cut it out, and then you've got this bigger piece, and then you've got, yeah, you basically got different layers, so you could do different things. Let's see. If I put it there, I kind of want to do that. So I'll do that, and then I'll do this one as an outside, and I might do that in gold. That sounds like it would be pretty. Okay. But now I've got an idea for another card because I keep forgetting shakers. I'm not going to do a shaker today, but that gives me another idea for another card. Okay, die cutting machine needs to come out. I gave it a new home underneath my, on the bottom shelf of my rolling cart. Now I have to move everything around so I have everything basically put away. Because after I get done with this live stream, I'm going to be working on another card project. So I need all my stuff put away. I still haven't found that die that I lost the other day. I have no idea what happened to it on Tuesday. Okay. our Christmas magic mat. Yay! Okay, I'm going to start off with this little guy. And I think I need my T-square to make sure that it's straight. I'm going to try to line it up with the bottom of the ground. See what I'm doing there? And I think I do kind of like having that much air, that much sky above. Let me take that off there real quick, because otherwise I can't see what I'm doing. So I've got it lined up with the edge of my T-square. And then I'm going to line it up with our feet of our mice. Okay. And it's pretty much centered. So I've got enough room at the top and at the bottom that if I want, I could put the sentiment on either side, or I could do multiple, you know, whatever. Now I'm going to try not to move it. You could use your magnetic magic mat for this to make sure that it doesn't move. And that may be a good idea. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it one more time. So yeah, I'm repositioning everything again. So no, I'm not going to use our Christmassy one. Instead, I'm going to use the magnetic. So ads have started on Twitch. And these also have grid marks on the mats too, so that helps as well. You were holding your breath. She was basically holding her breath because she wasn't sure if I was going to actually do the thing. Okay, we're going to put this down. Make sure the blade is facing down. Lining it up with the edge of my T-square. And then I'm just going to move things around until it's lined up where I want. So I've got the bottom lined up with the feet of my little meese. And yeah, now you had to see a bit of the top of my head. Okay, so that is good. I'm going to gently tilt it because you do know that if you put the lines straight into your machine, it probably isn't going to cut. So I'm going to make sure it's at an angle. And let's go ahead and see if that is, it looks to me like it's about straight. Does that look straight to y'all? I think it's straight. Okay, so I think that turned out perfect. That looks straight. Okay, great. And then for the other piece, let me grab a piece of gold cardstock because I think that would be really nice on there. Where did I put my gold? Here we go. And yes, I'm using my fancy stuff. This is the gold mirror cardstock. Yeah, gold mirror cardstock. I don't know what they do, how they do this to make it so fabulous, but they do. It basically, this stuff will bend. It's like, to me, it feels like metal. I've asked and they said that it's not metal. It's cardstock. And I do know that it has got a white core, so I know that it's cardstock. Now this one, this frame is basically A2 size. It is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, pretty much. It's only going to trim off a little bit, so I'm going to use some tape to hold it in place on my die because I need my die to go to those edges. See, I need to make sure it goes to the edge there. And we need to make sure it's on at least 2 sides right to the edge, because otherwise the other 2 sides are probably not going to reach. And yes, it's going to cut through my tape, and that is totally fine. Again, I'm going to put it at an angle. I did flip my mat so that it will last longer. I decided to pull out a second mat, turn it around. What am I needing to turn around? Before I do anything, what do I need to turn around? Oh, you're afraid of, okay, I see. Okay. And I watched a video on on scrapbook.com, and one of the things that they said is that you need to make sure that your mat doesn't warp like what mine has been doing. So I'm trying to figure out, how can I prevent it this next time? They say not to force it. So this, what it's doing right now, is basically not what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to let your stuff go through that much. And here, let me show you. This is popping up as I'm trying to put it through because it's too thick. So I'm going to change to a different mat. The first one went through fine. I don't know why it didn't do that the second time around, but the first one went through fine. I'm going to do it on this other one. And see, it's still doing it. Which means my Spellbinders may be a little bit tight. So this time I don't have my other platform is not in there. I've only got platform base A in there. Platform base B is not. So I'm going to try it again with B. Yep, it's still doing a little bit of warping. Not sure how I would be able to avoid that. So that may be a question for me to ask scrapbook.com actually. Because maybe their mats are a little bit too thick. But look at that. That is the look I was talking about. Now, we do have a couple of choices to decide on. We do have something to decide on. Do we want to do this as a shaped card, or do we want to do this and put it on another card base? So I'm going to show you what it's going to look like if we put it on a card base. I think we're probably going to do a shaped card. So if I put it on a card base, we're going to have that little bit of white showing all the way around. And that's fine. But I'm kind of thinking if I cut my card base down so that I can just mount this flat on there and have those edges, that's going to look even better. So okay, now I have to figure out how I'm going to get that to go through with it being thick enough. Part of the issue could be the thickness of the paper too. That's probably why the first one didn't have a problem. I need to do a poll. I don't think I need to do a poll. I think I'm just going to do this. Okay, so I know what I'll do. I'll run it through twice. I think. Where's everyone gone? I don't know. People are they not here? I haven't looked to see how many people are watching. Okay, only problem is it looks like my card is just a touch small. See that? It's like just a touch. We're going to go with it though. Doing the same thing again, taping it on the oh, I also need to make sure that I leave enough space over the top there. We do not want that to cut through our card. So see what I'm doing there? The blade is just a little bit further than our card base because we do not want it to cut through the fold. Okay, I think that's going to be good. We're going to give it a try. And okay, that does not have enough pressure because I used the other one. This is going to be too tight on there, but at least I'm going through with one of the magic mats that can handle it, and I can flatten out my red one. I can flatten that one out. Yeah, that is too thick. Dang it. What do I have in here that I can use as a shim? This I think is thinner. Don't know if it'll go through like that, but we shall see. Nope, not thick enough. But that's not thick enough. And that's not thick enough. Is this the big one or the little one? That's the, okay, that's part of the problem. Yes, I'm swapping things around. So what this is my old precision base plate that the plastic warped. So I just put it on a piece of chipboard, which is nowhere near as thick as it would need to be. But it may work for this because it went through there and it did lift up the end a little bit. It looks like it may have cut through something. Now, it basically just did the, didn't do enough. Dang it. Trying one more thing to see if I can get this thing to work right. So I need to have enough pressure, but not too much pressure. That makes sense. This is not going to be enough. I'm just going to go with it. This is going to be too much pressure. You can see it's too much pressure. But it did cut through. Metal plate. Yeah, I've also got a precision base plate, the chrome, and I've also noticed that with it, and that's one reason why I was looking up things on scrapbook.com earlier this week. On that one, the plastic has warped as well, like with like the first or second use. It's like, why is it doing that? And apparently, what I think is that I think my machine is just a little bit too tight for what I'm trying to do. I typically don't really have trouble with my things, but so we do have pretty design there. And what I'm going to do at this point, because I know where everything is and you guys can see the marks, I'm just going to trim the edges instead of fight with this thing. I'm trying to put too thick of cardstock through and it doesn't really want to cut, which is normal. Another way to do a shaped card would be to do 2 of that same size and create yourself a hinge. But I didn't choose to do that this time. Okay. This is going to be pretty. Okay, one thing I have noticed about this specific paper, this gold paper, and I love it, but it does not like to stick to things. Okay, so Amaret has a Tangia Dungeon Duel challenge going on. Type in !join to join in if you did it in time, which looks like we have Danielle and her having a fight. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on the front, lined up with the bottom. And then we need that so that it's going to do its thing. So while we're waiting for this to dry a little bit so it can adhere everything else, I think what I need to do is I need to do a sentiment. So for this one, the sentiments that came with our little set here are have a tremendous Christmas. Okay, I think I know what we're going to use. We're probably going to use this one. Am I right? Oh, I've got things in the wrong thing. I put them in the wrong. That's okay. So we're working with Tremendous Christmas and I've got it in the wrong packaging, but that's okay. I have not tried to replace the thinner plate since I started doing the cheapy A5 machine. Comes with a base plate and 2 thicknesses of clear plates. Yeah. I don't have 2 thicknesses of clear plates, I don't believe. Yeah. Every machine, regardless of which ones you get, they're all going to be just a little bit different from one another. So sometimes they're going to be too tight. This one, it says, "You'll be in my heart." I think that's the one that you guys would prefer on here. What do you think? Is that what we're going to put on our little guy? Stephanie says yes. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do that. And since we're doing purple on this one, we're going to stick with purple. Let's put this back into our Misty right up on that corner so we can make sure not to shift it. And I'm using my magnet. And then we'll position that down and trying to think of how I'm going to be able to put it in here to be able to make sure that it's straight, because this is a little bit wider than what I can use in my Misty. Unless I make sure that they line up with the lines. Don't want it that low. Actually, there we go. I can do it that way. It actually has enough of a lip to be able to touch down over here. So that's great. So I can just make sure that it's lined up with the card itself. And only problem is it's going to overlap some of it. So I can't really do, I was thinking I could just stamp directly on here, but if I do, I'm going to cover up part of the tree with part of the letters and you're not going to be able to see that. So we're going to just stamp it separate and do the trick that I've been doing the last couple of times using one of my new little things here. So do I have a piece of scrap paper that I can use? Why, yes, I do. Don't know what this is, but oh, this is something that I did. Okay. And this one I think is going to probably need, is it going to be the 1/2 inch? Not necessarily, but I do want to make sure that it's in far enough so I've got enough room on this side. So this is what I'm going to do. More presents. We have more presents. So apparently we got some more mail in and Todd just brought it in from the front door. They usually just put it in our mailbox that's down at the end of the street. Okay, so that's what we're going to start off with. And then I can decide what size do I want to do. And then I have to see, do I still have I do have some strips somewhere, but where did I put them? That actually is a perfect fit. Okay, I'm going to use the 3/8. I think I like the 3/8 better than the quarter. Quarter's a little bit thin. So I'm just going to line that up. I'm going to actually line it up a little bit further down so I've got more room depending on how long my strip is. And then did I put it in one of these? I think I did. Oh, here's some cardstock. I think this is the one that has those. Plus this has some other sentiments in here. Okay. And these are all quarters. Do I not have an extra 1/8? I don't have an extra 3/8. I'm going to have to cut a 3/8 inch. Okay, we can do that. Y'all are bored. That's why you're playing Tangia. So this one. That's right about 4 1/4, a little less than. I'm going to trim it at 4 1/4 so then I have better judge on the 3/8, and then just move it over 1/4 and another 1/8. And that should give me a sentiment strip to use on this card. Yay.
Unboxing video.
Todd just asked me if I wanted to do an unboxing video. Because he's got goodies over there. Is that computer goodies? It's computer goodies. That we're waiting on additional parts that are not supposed to be here until like next Wednesday, so we can't actually do all the things.
That's what you think.
That's what was supposed to be here on Wednesday next week? We just got the processor for my computer. Okay, so now we have our sentiment. Okay, Ruth says, I'm not playing. I'm refilling my glue press and takes all my concentration so I don't spill. Yes. Kim says she wants to see the computer goodies. Okay. You want to see parts. Parts is parts.
Here's one part.
So here's one part. So this is going to be my new processor inside. Who just popped in? I don't see it up yet. Anne Marit again. Okay, hey Anne Marit. So this is my new processor for my computer. So it's supposed to be faster. So this is for the computer. This is the computer brain. What do we have next? Todd's not ready to hand me anything else.
I'm twerking them.
Okay, we have packaging.
We have RAM.
Okay, we have new RAM. This is 36?
64.
Oh, 64 gigabytes of RAM for inside my computer. Exclamation point foam. That wasn't foam, that was bubble. And then, ooh, that's my motherboard. Oh, this one's heavier. This one is my new motherboard. My new gigabyte motherboard. Yeah, I might, if y'all are actually interested in this stuff, I could do an actual unboxing and film Todd putting things together as long as he puts a shirt on. He just laughed at that. Okay, let's clean this up and finish the card. And I'll go ahead and give away this first one. I know y'all are saying, hey, oh, I forgot this. We also have a new CPU cooler. Yeah, so does this include the heatsink?
Yeah.
So this is a heatsink and fan that goes on the motherboard to basically to make sure that the goes onto the CPU to make sure the CPU doesn't get too hot and blow up. Ruth says it would be cool to see. I think they just want to see you. I'm not building the thing, okay? But it should, the different things we have talked about, that me and Todd talked about this the last week or so, should make it so that my computer works better. And then he gets mine, which is going to be better for him. And that's the whole reason that we're upgrading my computer, is so that he can have a faster computer. He also just got in another monitor. Well, my computer's not going to be a supercomputer quite. It's going to be better. And we're trying to make sure that it is forward compatible. So it's not the slowest, but it's not going to be anywhere near the fastest. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this on, and then I think I'm going to put I may have to put the whatchamacallit back on. This one is not getting foam, believe it or not. But it does have heavyweight cardstock, and it does have multiple layers, which you guys know I don't really do a lot of layering of panels most of the time. This is one that also will let you have a little bit more wiggle room because the foil cardstock doesn't want to adhere. Okay. Now looking at this, it does look like I got a little bit crooked, but I'm just going to say it is close enough. And I'm going to trim this pretty close to the end of each side of my sentiment. You'll always be in my heart. I can't say that I will be jealous about a monitor because I have a 49-inch curved. What are the sizes of your monitors, honey?
32.
So you have 332.
Yep.
Okay, so Todd has three 32-inch monitors, 2 of which are curved. So yeah. Since he got a new monitor in, I do have one of mine that you guys probably heard me earlier complaining that it just goes black for no reason. So that's the one I'm going to probably be replacing with one of his. So we kind of just share all the things. That's going to be so cute. Does this need it? Okay. The sentiment will be popped up on foam. That one I will do foam because why? Foam is life. It's easily miffed by seeping glue though. Yes and no. So water usually will clean up the seepage. So you should be able to, wet a paper towel and wipe the foil, and it'll clean it right up. It's an extra step though, so I do get it, but I absolutely love it. Christina says, "You beat me to it, Ruth." We had 3 people that did Ruth. Ruth did it, and Danielle did it, and Terry did it. All 3 of them said exclamation point foam. Okay. And then again, taking out my pretty T-square, lining it up right over there, and there we go. Are y'all happy with that one? I think it turned out so pretty. And I've got 2 more panels to make additional cards. It is 2:30, so I don't know if I need to. I'm kind of thinking I need to stop. But I also know y'all don't want to stop. Is anybody doing anything today? I am too close for it to be any bigger. Anyway, hubby is trying to do me a favor. Currently making a simple card with a unicorn on it for my niece's birthday. Clean and simple is lovely. Oh, thank you so much, Stephanie. Okay, I'm going to start putting some of the stuff away so I know that I don't lose it. Like I lost that die on Tuesday night. Sudoku. What? Oh, yeah. Okay, I do kind of want to go ahead and die cut these guys out. So I'm going to put this one off to the side. I'm also going to put my things in the right thing because this says Jingle Bell Wishes and that's the wrong this is the wrong stamp set. So apparently when I was packaging them, I put the stickers on the wrong thing. See, that one has Jingle Bells. That one, wait. Okay, I put the whole thing in the wrong package. No, I didn't find it yet. Stephanie wanted to know if I had found that that die yet. No, I have no idea where it went. I have not pulled everything out from under my desk yet. I have not moved that cabinet out from under there yet, mostly because I know we're going to be rearranging and doing a lot of stuff with the computer probably this weekend, and might as well do it all at once, right? I watched a video today where a neighbor was nicking packages from a porch and they got glitter explosion prank package to expose them. That is awesome. That is super awesome. Yeah, we haven't had any issues like that. My neighbors are super awesome. We do occasionally wind up with each other's mail, which it hasn't been as bad over the last month or so, I guess. Knock wood. But yeah, the post office has been bad about putting our stuff in the wrong box. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this guy. We're going to do that. And it's going to have the whole family on there just and the tree. So that's going to fit perfect. This one's going to fit right. This other one, we're going to only do part. That is cute. Yeah, I like that. That is cute. Okay, next we're going to do this one. And I'm going to keep it kind of close to the edge of the tree. And where'd I put my T-square? So I kind of think I need to use my T-square to make sure that it is pretty straight with the edge of, with the feet, right? If I have it straight with the feet of my mouse, then I know that the bottom of this is going to be straight. Okay, so now it is about right. Go ahead and run that through. I hate it when they put a pick up your parcel slip into your mailbox without ringing the bell, and they are underpaid and overworked. Well, our mailbox is down at the end of the street. I could actually still use that. I'm going to keep him. But here is our little family where they're doing their decorating. Oh, do I want to do? Kind of do. Let's do we want to do gold behind this one, or do we want to do a different color? I'm kind of thinking I want to do another gold arch behind him. Where are my arches? Where did I put them? Did I put them away? Where did I put them? There we go. I put them off to the side so I would know what it was that I used. So I think I'm going to use a larger arch and go and do another matting. I think that would be good. So I could do this one. That I think will be enough mat. Yeah, that'll work. Another piece of my gold. Okay, this one I can only do it this way, but I can, if I center it right, I'll have that part that's on the edges that I can use on another card. Or I can use the little bits on other embellishments and such. Okay. So y'all got to tell me what you think. Here's our gold background. Yeah. I think that'll be pretty. That'll be pretty. And then I kind of want to do, let's use that embossing folder. From that other collection. Merry Moments. I'm going to do this. Yeah. We're going to do this. But what color do I want to do? So we've got green and we've got blue on there. I don't know if red would be too bright behind it. Would that look right? Or should we go with white behind it? Because we could do either. I'm grabbing out a piece of white. I kind of like the red. Kind of like the red. I don't know what it is, but I always like that extra pop of color. I like that extra contrast. I just can't make myself... I'm really bad about doing tone on tone. I just don't do it because I like the contrast so much. Okay. Let me get my adapter plate D out. And I actually put it in there, just threw it in there, and it actually wound up being in there pretty much straight. Okay. Stephanie says they have to climb 12 steps to get to our door and our mailbox. Wow. Okay, look at that. That is so pretty. Yeah, I'm going to play with this more. Yeah. But even just by itself without doing anything additional to it, which is what I'm going to do right now, is so pretty. Yeah, that's going to be perfect. Okay, I'm going to trim that down a little bit so we have our 1/8 inch border all the way around. So going to cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4. Oh, this is so pretty. And start putting everything down onto a card base. Okay, this one gets foam. Oh, while I'm doing this, I should probably go ahead and glue these together real quick because we know that they don't like to stick. And then I'll put it under my acrylic block while I start applying foam to this main piece. You got another Tangia dungeon going on. I really do appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me, by the way. Hey, Crystal. Happy you made it in, honey. This has been a little bit of a long stream. It's already been 2.5 hours. And right now, we're making some cards using one of the new house mouse stamps. And I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to the back of this to make sure that I can put it in straight. So Stephanie says, I had a problem getting packages delivered to my apartment because of the steps. And when I called the post office about it, they said that there were too many steps and they won't deliver it. You have to pick up. That makes no sense. Okay, I want the bow up at the top. There we go. Making sure I put them on their right orientation. And then, of course, I decided I don't have them on there straight, so that's okay. Oh, thank you, Christina. So now I have to try not to push myself to work too fast on the other project I have to get done today because I want to work on my computer. Yeah, I need to make sure I don't do that and mess everything up. Oh, Todd says, "What? I have to get it done for Amanda." He's saying, but because he's thinking, but we have toys. He wants my computer, you know.
I always play toys.
He wants play toys. So this one has a double layer of foam where the other one only had foam for the sentiment. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. I know, it is so pretty. Imagine with all of that basically in gold. I'm kind of thinking the gilding wax stuff from Shem Holtz would probably go good on that. So I'm going to probably have to try that at some point. Hi, Heather. Welcome. It's a busy day online. What? I didn't know everybody else was going live today. Is everybody doing the Spellbinders stuff, or are they doing other things? It is July, and July kind of winds up being a Christmas in July thing. So everybody's got their new collections coming out. Okay, take my little T-square, line it up with the edge of the card panel, and then decide where do I want this to go. That's too high. Yeah, I got it on the right side. Okay. I think this is the second card I've done this week with the arches like this. It's not straight and it's not in the center. That's why you don't press it down too much. Stephanie says yes. And then, of course, I think part of the reason I used the arches earlier in the week with the vellum was pretty much because of Sabrina. Sabrina was showing off her new collection, which some of the stuff's coming. I don't have it yet, but she was doing some of the new collection where she did, she's got kind of a snow globe kind of thing going. Was it Sabrina? No, it was Lynn. It was Lynn, where she had a snow globe kind of thing going on, her new snow globe collection, but she used kind of an arch and put a rose in the middle of it, floating like what you would have from, from Beauty and the Beast. Okay, so that I think is pretty straight. I'm going to say it's straight enough. So there's that one. I do still need to do sentiment. I might use one of those Merry Christmas sentiments from one of the club kits that I've got hanging about. Then we've got this one. This is cute. What do I want to put it on? I'm going to start off with a card base. Kind of want it that direction, and then we need to have something for the background. And I could do another red, but I kind of don't want to do another red. So we just did that. I want these three to look a little bit different, so maybe I will do a blue. Oh yeah, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna do the embossing folder again because yeah, we can. Where to put it? Where to put it? There we go. Look at that. That is gorgeous. I do love this embossing folder. Oh yeah, that is too cute. That is too cute. Let's trim this one down. Who needs a reason to add texture? I like the blue now that you showed it. Yeah. It would be, this would look fabulous in some of Lisa Horton's, her iridescent stuff too. I think this would look gorgeous basically all the time. I love this one. You know, some embossing folders speak to me and some of them don't, but this one is wonderful. At Heather Joy, texture over layers when watching for postage cost. Yes, absolutely. what the package, the card that I sent out, I don't know if they're in here right now, but we did the confetti flingers. And on one of mine, I used an embellishment from an old card kit, which was a hat with a little pom pom on the top. So it was from a birthday collection. I put that one on there, and because of the way the card felt, they could feel that. They decided that had to be a package. They could not send it out as a card. So that one cost, instead of the 79 cents, which I think is expensive, but instead of the 79 cents for a card, it wound up costing $4 and something for a package. All because of one embellishment that was too obvious when they felt the card. So I'm trying not to do that anymore, because it may have just been that it was close to Christmas and they were getting finicky, because I've never had that kind of problem before. And my cards are all feel basically substantial. They've also said sometimes that if it feels too firm, if it doesn't bend, if it's not flexible. Yeah, FedEx would probably be cheaper for that specific thing, but I was trying to just mail out cards. This was one of like about a half dozen that I still had to send out from giveaways. And yeah, that's the reason I had those. But this is one where I'd had a couple of things returned, and I actually went to the post office to buy postage and to mail some things and ask them to please check, because I didn't want it returned, because I had just had something returned that to me just felt like a standard card. I still don't know why they did it. FedEx takes regular mail too. Well, we do have a okay. So how much do they do for, I'm going to have to look that up and see how much they do for a regular, just for a standard card. Because I think the postage price right now for just a stamp, for a forever stamp, is like 79 cents. And last time I checked pricing on shipping out a package by FedEx versus UPS versus the post office still turned out to be cheaper. Okay, this looks like I didn't cut it completely straight, but that's okay. Oh, this is too cool. I'm going to add another layer of foam. They weigh each piece. Okay, I'll have to take a look. I mean, I have a FedEx account, but like I said, last time I checked into it, it didn't work. Okay, I'm going to add foam on here. I like adding, this is 1/8 inch foam, so this one is nice and thin. And because it is nice and thin, you can use more of it without, you can use basically a couple of times. It's 73 cents for, okay. They wouldn't send it as non-machinable. I think if they do, no, it basically, they said it counted as a package. I do have some non-machinable stamps too to add on if it's something that I think might need it. But I have to say that since those at Christmas, I really haven't had any problems. You guys haven't told me that you haven't gotten, that things have been, that you've had to pay postage. I did have a couple of things around Christmas last year where folks said, oh, I wound up having to pay additional postage for this. It's like, what? Okay, we're going to do this one again, just like the others. Lining up with the edge there. And this time I'm going to try to line up my little, actually I could do, yeah, I'm going to try to line up my little meese with the line of my ruler. And then remove the ruler, and then it should be pretty much straight. Now it's not exact. It's, I have to start over. I think it was straight, it just was not in the center. And you guys know me, I am just a little bit OCD. Just a little bit. And if you guys hear something in the background, that is just the Todd grinding coffee. He takes already ground coffee. That's still not straight. What is going on? I keep trying to move it over and it winds up being just a little bit off. I think part of it was just that I wasn't in the center of the card. That looks That looks like it's... Okay, it's not straight though. That looks about right. Heather says I thought he might be, maybe he was grinding his teeth. No, he's in the kitchen and he's grinding coffee. He takes pre-ground coffee and he grinds it up more to put it in for espresso. Okay, it's going to be close enough. It's a little bit farther on this side than this side. You can see more of the blue on one than the other, but yeah. That is cute. That is cute. Okay, now we need to do sentiments, and I want to cut out this little guy. They go up to 78 cents on Sunday. I do need to get more. I could order some today. I'm not going to go out, I don't think. Well, I don't really want to go out. The van is running, but... Okay, I'm going to cut this little guy out. Just the little mouse with the red ornament. And then he, or she, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but he's a little cutie. This one's going to go on the inside over here. Yeah, I have forever stamps. I haven't needed to buy any because I bought so many at the time. I think it's probably been about 2 or 3 months. Okay, so Heather says that she lives in Australia and their postal system is likely have different regulations and they do not have forever stamps. Yeah, I think that's just a US thing. Okay, I need a couple of sentiments. Let's see what I have. I could use one of the ones that come with that set, or I could use one of these. So I've got a blue card and I've got a red card. So I'm thinking blue or red. And I do have a red Merry Christmas and a blue Merry Christmas. I think that'll work. And that way I used what I've already made. Yeah, I may have to buy more before they go up. Because I know I'm going to use them. No, I'm not sending out any cards to you guys anymore, so I don't need any more stamps. I did it again. I just looked straight at the camera when I said that. I am so silly. Yeah, I looked straight into the camera and I even had a look on my face. And y'all couldn't see it because the camera's not working. So you guys give me your opinion. Does it need to go on the white or on the blue? Y'all let me know what you think. Where do you want me to put the sentiment? And same thing with this one. I think it looks actually really good going straight across there. Okay, both y'all are thinking on it. Okay, great. I will do that. And since we're doing that, I can also pop it up on a little bit of foam. Red one where it is. Perfect. And you guys saw how quick and easy these guys, these cards were able to make. The hardest part was just deciding, okay, what do I want to do with the image now that I got it colored? But these are really hard. These were really, really easy to make. So it's perfect for mass production. You can pick out 1, 2, 3, however many different designs using the same little guys and just stamp out a bunch of them, color up a bunch of them. The coloring took no time at all. I really, really like how it did with just doing the accent pieces and not coloring the mice. I haven't done that one before, but I do like it. There we go. And then this one, we just need some glue on the back. And yes, it's crooked. I'm going to straighten that. Okay, so those look fabulous. One more thing I need to do on these is add a little bit of bling, but before I do that, I think I'm going to do a giveaway. So let me go ahead and get that started, assuming that I actually have the thing going. I think I do. Come on, computer. Computer. Kitty. Okay, so go ahead and type into the chat !join to get in on the giveaway. And I'm looking through the drawers to see if I can find my bling, which I never did go and look after yesterday. Tuesday. I did not go and look yesterday to see where I put them, so I think they're up in here. Hall closet. I do have a few that have snowflakes. And this is not all of mine. This is just some of them. It's where I finally went ahead and started. Sound is going wibbly wobbly. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Okay, so this one's white snowflakes and extra bling. That would go on good on all of them, I think. I may just stick with that, but I kind of think I want something else for this one. This one has so much white, it needs something more. It needs a little bit more color. This one has snowflakes and Christmas trees. We could do that. To get in on our giveaway. That would have been perfect for 4th of July. It's called Old Glory, and this calls from confetti. Okay, this one, I don't remember. I think this might actually be like a mix from like Dollar Tree. That would go better in I think that would go better in a shaker. It's also got a lot of white stuff in it. Hey, Miss Stephanie. Some from Crescent Creations. Pumpkins, gold. Trying to think of what to put on that one. I think these would be good on both of those, but this one needs more color. And I like looking at the bottom, just make sure that they're actually all. Another one, what? Stephanie, what? Red and green for the other one. Is what, okay. One of those peachy tubs. You think peach would go good on that? Peach isn't really a Christmassy color. mean, this one is a Spellbinders from one of the club kits. Yeah, this one was from May 2022. I actually labeled some of these. That one is a bit too bright, I think, for that. I'm kind of thinking I could do blue. I think, the thing is, it's the wrong color blue. I need a different color blue. Maybe that one. This one is kind of an iridescent purple and blue. I think it's close enough, though. I'm going to do it last. Okay, I'm going to do it last because I will probably change my mind. Yeah, Lynn mentioned also that this has got like diamonds. Okay. But Lynn mentioned that she also has Kalal glue. That's that gel glue. And I can't find that you can get it anywhere. 5 top left. So instead of 3, you want 5? It depends on the sizing. We could possibly do that. So there's a little one. I think I want a bigger one up here. So that's going to be a 4. And the Kalal glue will definitely make it so that it sticks better to embossing and stuff. So this one's going to have to sit there for a little bit to hopefully adhere. Let's see if I can get it to at least stay down. There we go. And then I can put a medium size right there. Except it needs more glue because that had time to dry. No, the box you had from the left, 5 on the top. Okay. I didn't know what you're talking about, but this I think will work too. We're going to try to stick with odd numbers. And then another little put another little snowflake there. It's a little cluster of snow and gems and stuff. Okay, that one did not want to stick. It's when the YouTube takes forever to process comments. Oh, you're talking about the delay? Yeah, lag is a thing. Lag is definitely a thing. I think that maybe it kind of makes me think I need a little bit of something in here. Just to kind of make to drag your eye down. That makes sense. Okay. How's that now? I think that's good. Stephanie says splatter. Oh, okay. Now that I'm done with it, she says I need splatter. I could do splatter. Splatter's probably going to get on the gems, and I'm not going to clean them off because if I clean them off, I'm probably going to drop them. I could do some solar spray, but you're not going to really see it. Not on the white. And I haven't gotten out my regular sprays in a bit. It is getting closer to Halloween, and that's when I usually take them out. Let's see, that one's blue. I hope I don't go overboard. If I do, it's your fault. This one is Distress Mica Stain, and it looks like the lid was not completely on, so I've already got a little bit of a mess going on. I caught it in time, screwed it back on. Stephanie says it looks good. No, not now. The moment has passed. Okay, so that one looks fine. Okay. Oh, goodness. Yeah, this one, I've got ink on my shirt. I'm going to have to make sure to rinse it thoroughly. Or this one, I don't know if this stuff stains or not. I'm assuming it does. But my shirt has now got little blue dots on it. Okay, so this one's done. Anybody else want to get in on the giveaway? I'm going to go ahead and finish up these, and then I'm going to have to stop. I could end up being a sparkly Smurfette. Yes, I don't want to do that. There it is. I just put these out on here to kind of help let it organically tell me where to put them, because I don't know where to put them. You do want to try to stick to like groups of 3, but a lot of times your eye already knows what looks good. So you start putting them down, and then you can decide based on how you like them. So far, I don't really want the snowflake. I just want a couple of these little gems, and that one can go away. I think I just want those 3, and that'll be fine. And I'm putting the glue just basically right beside where I had my little gems at, because that'll be really close to where I saw them initially. And there we go. I think that is good. I'd like lurking all the time, drinking coffee at a friend's house. Well, are you going to get in on the giveaway, hon? Or did you not? At least I'm not going to be angry unicorn. Thank you, Miss Sharon. There's a dot right there of the stuff. Yeah, that's, yeah, it's a blue-green. At least it's my favorite color, but still, I don't need a white shirt with that stuff on it. Okay. Do the same kind of thing with this one, I think. I'm going to just put a little splattering of the sequins down. And I think this is another one that I got from Spellbinders at once upon a time. It's not too late for coffee. I have coffee. It's 3 o'clock. Okay, first I don't really like the big ones. The big ones are too big. So we'll take those off. But the little ones that are probably medium size are probably all right. Pretty sure 4:30 in the morning is 2 something. Okay, now I just decided one of the big ones is fine on each end. Okay, think that's going to work. Okay. This one was upside down. These are mostly flat, but they do have a little bit of a curve. So I had that one with a curved side up instead of down, so it didn't want to stick. And looks like that one's the same, so let's do that one again. Okay, I'm going to say that those are done. Okay, so we have 12 people in the giveaway. Anybody else, last minute people, anybody else want to get in on this? Say it now or forever hold your peace. And this is on YouTube and on Twitch, so both sides, y'all can get in on this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and we are going to go ahead and do a drawing. Who's it going to be? Congratulations, Stephanie. So which card do you want, honey? Which of the three did you want? Gold, red, or blue? She wants the red. Stephanie wants the red. So that's going to be this one that has our little guy on the inside. Stephanie gets this one. Love that card. Okay, I am going to go ahead and give these out too. I wasn't going to, but I'm gonna. So I'm going to go ahead and do a drawing for the next one, and then you guys have to tell me which card do you want. So drum roll. Miss Heather. Heather Joy is our second winner. And which of the cards do you want, Miss Heather? Okay, I'm looking for my pen. So Stephanie gets the red, and then Heather gets gold. Heather gets the gold. Okay, and then the final winner, let's see who that's going to be. Winner is Miss Christina. Okay, so I'm putting the giveaway form in the chat one more time. So to claim your prizes, ladies, just fill out that form. That'll let me know where to send them to. And just make sure you tell me red mouse, gold mouse, blue mouse, and that way I know which card it is for you. So I'm going to say that is going to be it for you for today. Don't forget, we do have the summit coming up. That's actually coming up in about a month, so go ahead and get your ticket now so that you don't forget. And we also have a workshop coming up on Saturday that I would love for you guys to come and hang out with. There's links for both of those in the description down below. I think they're in the description and in the link deli link, the visual supply list. I will be adding the visual supply list, the specific products that I used today. And I will see you guys again on Tuesday. Don't forget, we do get together Tuesday at 5 o'clock Eastern for the regular live stream, and at 4:30 Eastern if you are one of my members. So we have a member pre-show. So anyway, I will see you guys next week. Before I do that though, let us go ahead and roll the credits. Thank you guys so much to everybody who has come out and hung out with me today and that it continues to support my channel. I really, really appreciate you guys. You guys rock. Yeah, I really appreciate all that you do. So thank you so much, and you guys have a wonderful, 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 wonderful week.